Joe, pretty emphatic win there. Win pretty quickly. I know you had a lot of changes during the week, obviously with new opponents and everything. How happy are you after that?
I'm very happy. I had an opponent for 8 weeks that was not medically cleared, and I was told that he would be fine to fight, and then a week out from the fight it all fell through, and lucky for me that Robbie Scott was willing to fly halfway across the world to take on myself, and I'm delighted that I got a win now before the end of the year. I was almost thinking last weekend that I was only going to have 2 fights in 2019, and I've been fight ready for all year, so I'm really happy now to get that win.
And obviously there's kind of a lot of questions over his opponents in his past and his 5-1 record. How did you feel in there? What kind of a fighter do you think he was?
I'm a striking specialist, so anyone really in this lightweight division is going to feel not on my level. When I went to the ground, he seems to be quite crafty with different leg locks, and I felt that there were some threats there, but nothing that I wasn't used to. In terms of who he's beaten in the past, it doesn't matter. He's gone out and he's fought who was put in front of him, and he's won the majority of the time. So in my eyes, that's a dangerous opponent. And also, there wasn't that much footage on him, so I was going in blind to this. I didn't know what he was going to be throwing at me. I was going out, and but at the end of the day, you can only focus on yourself and go out and fight who's in front of you and just react there and then.
Joe, first Cage Warriors won in 723 days. How does it feel to kind of get that monkey off your back in a way?
Well, it feels a lot better than actually hearing that. Thanks, John. But you wouldn't believe it, that was. It's been that long since the last win on Cage Warriors. So I came back from New Zealand. It was a year and a half ago, and it was just under a year ago that I fought the current champion, Jay Herbert. And since that, I've had 3 good fights. I had 2 first-round submissions and a fight of the year, which I believe I won. So I feel like I've had a good year.
I was going to ask physically, emotionally, how you came back from that fight with Jai Herbert, because not only was it quite a devastating knockout loss, it was a devastating knockout loss coming off the back of a 14, 15 month layoff. So all these factors combined, it must have made things pretty tough mentally coming into this year.
I feel like I'm pretty resilient mentally. I took it for what it was. It was just a clip behind the ear, and that threw my balance off, and it wasn't a concussive blow. Looking back at the fight, I felt in control. Looking at it objectively, I was in control. If it wasn't for that clip behind the ear, I felt I would have gone on and cruised to a victory. So I was really annoyed and upset after it, but whenever I sat down with the coaches, we looked at it. It wasn't too bad. All we needed to do was just get back to training and get the fights. And I've only had 3 fights. Yes, I've had 3 fights since then. But as I said to Sean, I've been fight ready all year. We've been looking for fights. It's just been incredibly difficult to get matched.
How important was it to be on this card? Because it feels like this is the new breed of Irish hopefuls that could potentially make their way to the UFC. Did you feel that about this card and this event tonight?
I really did. I was looking around the changing rooms, and there was myself, Ian, Gary and Reese, the final 3 men in the red corner changing room, and I knew I was in the presence of people that are going to be in the UFC, and myself included. And there's the likes of Dackie Mccolgan and John Mitchell, who were lower down the card. Those are top guys. This is really like the top of Irish MMA. I know you can look at Bellator, and there's great fighters in Bellator as well, but I felt like all the guys that were representing this country tonight are going to go and make it to the UFC.
Just before I ask you about Paddy Pimblett, because we're definitely going to have to do that, I just wanted to ask you about Reese, because you've trained with Reese for a very long time, and you've been saying for a very long time how good you think this guy can be. You've gone out of your way to basically heap praise on Reese. Yeah. What's it like seeing him kind of be in the main event, going out and knocking down a famously hard guy like Foss with a jab? Does any of this stuff surprise you?
Reese McKee has the death touch, and if there was ever a fight that proved it, it was that. Hack and Foss is as tough as they come, and for him to finish him with pretty much a jab, that's something special. And me and Reese had a moment out the back where we were head to head, and my coach had us both knocked in head to head, and he was telling us, you've grew up in the circuit together. You are now main and co-main of Cage Warriors. You are destined to be in the UFC, and it was a special moment for me, and it's one I'll cherish looking back in my career. And to be sharing these moments with Reese, and hopefully we get to do it again in Belfast, main and co-main, and I think Reese needs to be fighting for the title.
you're a man who's always gone out of his way to fight the hardest guy available. I mean, famously against Peter Creedy when you were just 1-0.
Yeah.
I know Robbie wasn't ideal, like you wouldn't
Yeah.
have picked him, but I mean the fight with Paddy Pimblett, you've been saying for a long time that you want him because he's top of the heap as it comes to Cage Warriors. The most amount of eyes are on Paddy Pimblett when it comes to Cage Warriors. Do you feel like it still is that way, and why does that fight mean so much to you at this stage?
Paddy Pimblett takes offence to me calling him out, but as you just said, Pete, I'm calling out the best guys. I rate him so highly. He is a dangerous man in there. I just feel that my skill set matches up well against him, and that's a fight that I want to get because all eyes are on Paddy Pimblett. He is the main event in Cage Warriors, and there's no question about it. So if you get a fight with him, that's massive exposure, and that's a massive scalp to take. That's why I want that fight, and maybe moving into 2020. I know he's fighting Desmond here as he thinks it's for the #1 contender spot. There's Mason Jones out there, who I believe is the true #1 contender. Jai's going on to the UFC. There's a lot of moving parts right now in the Cage Warriors lightweight division, and I'm not sure where all the parts are going to fit. But let me tell you this: I'm right at the top there. I should be in contention for a title shot. Another win for me, and I feel like I'm right up there.
And based on your back and forth with him on social media, with the greatest respect to Donovan and some of the other opponents Paddy has faced, I feel like this could be a huge build-up. It feels like fans are getting behind it, they're picking their sides very early here. Like, do you feel like that as well? It'll be a lot bigger than some of his more recent fights?
I think it's the fight to make in 2020 for Cage Warriors. I think it's the biggest fight to make. I don't think there's anyone else that's going to bring in as much attention as me and Paddy. I think there seems to be a bit of heat and a bit of tension now, and it's all just coming from me calling him out and him getting a bit pissed off. But it is what it is. There's two guys there. We're at the top of the division. We have to fight, and he has to get through Donovan now, and I have to get through my next opponent. My next opponent could be him. Who knows? As I said, 2020. There's a lot of moving parts of Cage Warriors lightweight division, so we'll see what parts fall are.
Joe, was it difficult to get up for this fight, knowing that Robbie Scott maybe wasn't the level of caliber of opponent that you would have hoped for? Was it difficult to kind of motivate yourself coming into this?
It's not. I don't need an opponent to motivate me. I'm in the gym all the time anyway. I'm training 110% all the time. I got the likes of Paul Hughes and all inspiring me and motivating me every day in the gym. He's my hardest fight. So if I'm not sharp in the gym, I'm getting beat up. So my teammates are my motivation, not an opponent. In terms of my opponent, you say that he wasn't the same level as my other opponents. That's no different to me. I could be going in there and fighting a 10-year-old boy, and I'll still be nervous, and I'll still want to show up and endorse him.
Yeah, and this was your first fight camp where you're solely focused on training. You didn't have to deal with a full-time job on the side. Did you notice a difference in the cage as a result of that?
No, I didn't notice a difference. When I first started training full time, it was 3 weeks before the Medi fight, and I felt the difference in training. And for this fight here, I wasn't able to spar after the Medi fight, so I came into this fight camp without any sparring, without any real hard training, just because I was a wee bit conscious that I took some big shots in the fight, so I just wanted to play it safe. I feel like I was a compromised Joe Mccolgan going in there tonight, but it was important for me to get back in and get a win, so I just took the fight, and it all paid off. I had a training camp where I didn't take a single shot, and I had a fight where I didn't take a single shot. Now I get the rest, recover, maybe go skiing over Christmas, and then come back and take on Cage Warriors lightweight division in 2020.
Joe, after your last fight, and I know you heard as well, I was talking about how something maybe was click for you in terms of the striking. Obviously, it's another submission tonight, all your finishes come by submission. Do you look at someone like Masvidal? We've talked about him over the last maybe year or so. That's something that's kind of clicked from him. He was going for someone who was getting decisions, I think, to someone who was knocking someone out. Is that someone you maybe take a little bit of inspiration from?
I absolutely do. Yeah, I really do take inspiration from guys who are over 30 and doing really well now in MMA, and he's one of them. I actually listened to your podcast and I heard what you said. It's nice to hear those things. And for me, I feel like, and my coaches would agree with you as well, something is going to click for me in the cage, and I'm going to start putting people away. It's my hands, it's these here things here that do the damage, and I'm not getting the finishes with them that I need to do. I should be putting people away with these, and it just hasn't clicked for me yet. But I'm still that's only my 8th fight in the cage, so I need some more experience. I need to be fighting back to back. I can't be taking 6 months break and things like that. So I feel like I'm trying to do what I can here and get these fights. So hopefully in 2020 I'm going to have a roll of fights here, and hopefully something will click.
Joe, I mean, you told me in February that you wanted to get 5 fights in this year. You got 3, but you know, two submission finishes, and you know, you also got a fight of the year contender, which many people think you won.
Yeah.
How do you reflect on 2019 overall in regards to your career?
2019 was, I feel, you know, it was a success. For me and my fiance, we I proposed to my fiance as well.
Congratulations.
And she's been working hard to get her masters. So when we came back to New Zealand, we had these goals, and I feel like, you know, she's achieved her goals and I've achieved my goals in MMA. I know I didn't get the 5 fights, but I got 3 good wins. Well, sorry, two good wins and a draw, which I believe is a win.
Do you almost see 2019 as a warm-up year for how big 2020 is going to be for you?
Absolutely, John. Like, the nail on the head. Like, this is just warm up. I'm ready to go now. Like, you know, as I said, I'm going to recover now for a couple of months and then get straight into training. And I hear that they're coming back to Belfast in Q1 2020. So, you know, it's me, Reese, Paul, Hughes, Ian, Gary, all the boys here tonight will put on a special show there.
Unconfirmed reports that you were referred to as Fat Joe Mccolgan on the broadcast.
Was it actually? Fucking scumbag. I said to Brad, I was like, Brad, okay, right. If this goes to the 3rd round, you can call me Fat Joe. Like this. He goes to the 3rd round all the time.
What's your favourite Fat Joe song?
I actually don't know any Fat Joe songs. Niall sends me about 5 a day. I actually must take a screenshot because I don't open any of them. You know, they're all sitting there with empty ticks.
He's a great artist. I'm sure you're going to enjoy his stuff.
I will, yeah.
I suppose you have to get a new one, the SPG 100. There's no SPG people.
Well, he had an SPG man in the score tonight. Nice trade in SPG, so.
Gonna count that one, yeah?
Can you use that name anymore or what?
I didn't realise you were doing interviews today, Paul. What broadcast?
Are you use that name now or what? What's going on here?
What's your name? Paul the Head Hughes.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Joe. Cheers.